Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got major news here from Nebraska. It's the fight for a single electoral vote that could be a 2-point electoral swing if it does happen. Republicans' last ditch effort to make Nebraska winner take all. And this just came up now on Polymarket. They say it's about a 20% chance of happening. This market was just created 2 hours ago. It got up to around 45% chance. If you are Trump, you want this to happen for sure. I do remember there being rumors of this getting struck down about 4 months ago. What's interesting with this is I'm sure you guys are aware of the dynamics. You've got two states that are not winner take all. They're basically like gerrymandered to where each party gets one electoral vote. So it almost like cancels itself out, with Trump very likely losing the just state at-large popular vote in Maine, but taking the one congressional district. With Nebraska, it's the exact same thing with the second district for Kamala Harris. Democrats won the second district in 2020. They lost it in 2016. They are the current favorite. They've like an 85% chance to win, according to Polymarket. There haven't been many polls done on it, but it got down to about 60% chance. Now it's up to 85. And you can see, will Nebraska switch to winner take all? Libs are freaking out, with MSNBC coming out and saying, will Republicans pull off an electoral vote heist in Nebraska? Well, no, it's not a heist. We know that Maine Democrats were trying to do it and make it winner take all to steal Trump's electoral vote. They weren't able to do it. Now libs are getting salty that Republicans are trying to do it and actually succeed. It's come out Maine is going to stay as it is. Me personally, I think both of them should be winner take all at this point, considering you look at all the other states. It's just dumb that they go by districts. But Maine, we know now, it's been confirmed today, it is staying the way it is by district, and that should enable Trump. I was looking at the odds. According to Polymarket, Trump's got like an 87% chance to win the one district in Maine. He's going to lose the others, and he's going to lose the state at large. But because it's by district, he will be able to snatch one electoral vote, very likely in Maine. The district he won in 2020 by about 10 points. I don't think he's going to lose that district. It's going to swing that much. It shouldn't. So the fact that Maine is staying as is, if Nebraska can change, I mean, Trump could still win this district. It's not totally out of reach. I mean, I thought there was a pretty good chance when he was facing Biden that he would win it. But right now you can see the overall chances of Nebraska becoming a winner take all. And then also, I do wonder if I'm able, oh yeah, here it is. Nebraska's second congressional district. They've got, this is the one district they're trying to get rid of all these districts. So this wouldn't even be a market if it does get rid of, if they are able to make Nebraska winner take all. And you can see the shift. Right now, it's got Harris up to an 86% chance. What's the shift on this? Yeah, it was down to like 57 when Biden was in. And I thought Trump was definitely going to win it. This is just one electoral vote, but I guess I will demonstrate kind of the scenario that would be involved here. So you can see Trump and Harris tied at 269. Obviously, in this scenario, what you would do is, where it looks like right now, it's Harris taking that second district because it's not winner take all. And it's the same thing with Maine. That's why Trump has the one district in Maine. I think he has the first one, actually. I don't think that's right. Harris has the second one very easily. She's probably going to take the state with like an 85, 90% chance to win Maine. There was a recent poll that came out, just the state popular vote. That's the two electoral vote one, with her up by, I want to say, around 9 points. So she's got a decent lead there. But the scenario here would be Trump losing the entire Rust Belt. He takes Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, but he loses all of the Rust Belt. He's not able to flip Virginia. He loses Minnesota. He loses New Hampshire. He loses Maine at large. And so how does he win? Well, if you make Nebraska winner take all, obviously that becomes dark red. That's not even, those aren't even, districts there. It's just statewide 5 electoral votes. Just like Kansas is 6, Nebraska would be 5. There'd be none of these, outlines to show the districts. And Trump would be at 269. Harris would be at 269. Trump wins because the tie goes to the House and Republicans have it. And then Waltz would probably be VP, I think. I think that's how it works. It's really weird. But the general sentiment here is this is the kind of the big scenario to where if Trump loses all of the Rust Belt, there still is a potential path for him, even if he loses Virginia, because we were talking about, well, if he takes Virginia, it doesn't really matter, and it doesn't. And that's why I was talking about Virginia earlier today. But even if he loses Virginia, then he still does have the path if he's able to win. Maybe he'll win that district anyways, to be honest. I mean, I don't think Harris is a lock to win it, but she is the favorite right now. There's no doubt about it. So it just comes down to, are they able to actually do it? Now that we know, because the thing is, if Maine became a winner take all, the entire state, you would expect it to See, there's a difference between Maine and Nebraska, because if both of them became winner take all, Trump would still have a solid 15 to 20% chance to win Maine, just the state, if it just became 4 electoral votes like New Hampshire. It would be very similar to New Hampshire. Whereas Nebraska, if it became winner take all, it would be like South Dakota. I mean, Trump would win it with 100% chance certainty. So they're a little bit different in that sense, to where if they both became winner take all, you could argue Maine would be a swing state. Nebraska wouldn't be at all. The only reason she's getting that one district is just the way it's done, because it's a more liberal area with a bigger city. I think it's like Omaha or something. And that would be the scenario where she wins that and then gets to 270. And this would be the good scenario for the Democrats if they're able to keep the Nebraska electoral votes separate within their districts. You could take that, because if it's not like that, I mean, it's going to be something like that. If Maine had done the same thing, it would be something like that, I think, for Maine. If it was just 4 total electoral votes, it's similar to New Hampshire. Like, she's up by like 9 or 10 in the poll. It's probably a little bit less than that, honestly, when you factor all the bias in and everything like that. There's not a lot of polls that have come out of Maine. But the point is, that's why it's so important to potentially do this. And I'm sure Republicans are trying. I don't know the likeliness of it. It's probably not very high. But you can see in terms of the 2nd district, they want this to go away. They don't want this to be a thing. She should not win a single electoral vote in Nebraska, because she's going to lose the popular vote in Nebraska by 25 or 30 points. But because it's done by districts, this is an electoral vote she's very likely going to get if it is not changed with an 86% chance. There's very little polling done, so there's really no sense in looking at that. I think there was one poll that had her up by like 5 or 6 or whatever. So maybe there's a chance. I mean, with Polymarket, you know how these things work. If there's a poll that comes out that has Trump up by 4 in the 2nd district, her odds are going to go way down, probably to like 50%, because it's just based off of polling. So that's basically where we're at right now when it comes to Nebraska. And then if I go back and just look at Nebraska in general, you can see that the popular vote, obviously, I mean, this is a 100% chance. This should not even be close, honestly. But Trump is sitting at basically a 100% chance to win the statewide popular vote in Nebraska, which would then give him 5 electoral votes rather than just 2, because it's split up right now in all of the districts. So we'll see if this ends up happening. Liberals know this is not good because of what happened with Maine. They're not switching, so Trump is very likely to take that one district in Maine, and they're possibly going to get screwed if this goes through. Now, it is just one electoral vote, and obviously Trump, we think he could win with 300, 315 electoral votes. Maybe it probably won't matter, but it is still something to watch. Kind of a unique situation here, possibly an electoral vote changing and a state changing the way they do it to where Nebraska becomes winner take all, and it's just 5 electoral votes in general. Taking a look at the main markets, you can see just the presidential winner popular vote. It's got Harris at like a 90% chance. It was lower, but based on some recent polls, it's gone up to a 90% chance there. You do have that 2nd district. So it was the 2nd district where Trump should win it. He's got an 83% chance. This is the district he won by like 10 points in 2020. And so this is something that's staying. So even if Harris wins the regular popular vote in Maine, Trump's still going to be able to extract 1 electoral vote from the state with this district, because they're staying. They are not switching. And that's just the demonstration on how that works. And you can see it's the 2nd district in Maine and how that affects here. The 2nd district goes to Trump very by maybe 5-10 points. And you get up to 269. That's with Nebraska switching over from Harris to Trump, possibly Trump winning the 2nd district outright, or them getting rid of the districts, which is what they want, and Trump takes the just at-large state by 5 points, just like it would be with South Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, Oklahoma, pretty much every other state, where it's just the statewide popular vote that decides the winner there. So guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.